Hey Uplifters, if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the post notification bell to be notified every time I upload. So it's been a while since I've done a awareness video, but it's a sexual assault awareness month and I have to show my face even if it's like a few times during the month. So I want to talk about sex trafficking. And I've done a video about sex trafficking a long time ago, but I want to bring it back to the forefront because this is something that has been going on for so long and it's still going on, and a lot of people don't talk about it as much, so I want to bring awareness to that. So, sex trafficking and debt. That's what this is about, or you want to call it. So, human trafficking, that's what they call it as well. It's a lot of words, a lot of phrases people use about sex trafficking. So, it's modern slavery. Illegal trade in human beings through recruitment or abduction by means of force, fraud, or persuasion for the purpose of forced labor, debt, bondage, or sexual exploitation. Often forced through sexual, physical, and or psychological violence to perform work under slavery-like conditions. Some methods to control victims: false promises of money opportunities, withholding identification, work authorization, or travel documents, demanding repayment for a real or alleged debt, using or threatening to use violence, monitoring and surveillancing activities, paying very little or not paying at all for work. Traffic victims may be forced to live in bad living conditions, living in the same place they work, spaces that don't have heat, running water, or electricity, living with a lot of people, sharing small spaces. Victims of sex trafficking are not allowed to talk to anyone alone or without supervision. And also, they are coached on how to respond to inquiries from others, including police and other authority figures. So that's like pretty much the gist of sex trafficking. And a lot of people don't talk about it as much, which is, it's weird. I feel like, of course, if they say be abducted, you can be sold, like your family or a friend or anyone can sell you into sex trafficking or do it themselves. It's so much behind sex trafficking that it's like we don't see as many victims because it's a very traumatizing, it's more traumatizing as any other sexual abuse. But the person that has kept you, or the people that have kept you for so long, and you escape, and then it's like, once you have escaped, you're scared to speak up and speak out about it because those people are still out there and they can find you again, or they can find a loved one, they can hurt you, they can kill you. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it because they're afraid. And of course, it's okay to not talk about it, but that's why I'm here to bring awareness to stuff like this. Sex trafficking is so... I've heard stories. It's like a horror story that has gone around where I live, where it's a story that I'm trying to remember all the bits and pieces of it, but pretty much they put like something on your door handle of your car, and of course you're gonna be looking like, what the heck is on my car? And while you're distracted, they come up and abduct you. But I haven't heard of anyone being abducted, but who's going to hear about that? I mean, of course, missing person reports and all that stuff, but you do not know. Like, it could be a missing person that you think has just ran off, but that's not the case. They have been abducted. And in the sex trafficking world, we will never know until that person escapes, because it's not likely that they are let go from that. You have to escape. But I have some statistics. So, National Human Trafficking Statistics: 24.9 million people are victims of forced labor. 16 million people are trafficked for forced labor in the private economy. Private economy includes private individuals, groups, or companies in all sectors except the commercial sex industry. 4.8 million people are trafficked for forced sexual exploitation. 4.1 million people are trafficked for forced labor and state-imposed forced labor. It is estimated that 20.9 million people are trafficked worldwide. Women are disproportionately affected by human trafficking, accounting for 71% of all victims. Labor trafficking statistics. Forced labor in the private economy generates an estimated $150 billion in illegal profits per year. The largest share of labor trafficked adults are domestic workers, 24%, followed by construction, 18% manufacturing, 15% in agriculture and fishing, 11% sectors. Migrant workers and indigenous people are particularly vulnerable to forced labor. Sex trafficking statistics. 3.8 million adults are trafficked for forced sexual exploitation and 1.0 million children are trafficked for commercial sexual exploitation. And I feel like it's a world that we just don't know about. It's deeper, it's bigger than we could ever imagine. It's different ways that people sex traffic their victims, and it's like we will never know. Either to some, like we will never know how many victims are out there, how many victims are out there of sex trafficking survivors. We will never know the real deal, and it's just sad, and it's heartbreaking to know that in this world in general, we have sick people out there that will sell kids, sell adults. It doesn't matter if it's a male or female. You selling someone for sex and all things that are just you will never or could never imagine. But I just want to bring awareness to that, because it's just like we talk about it, but we don't talk about it as much. We just hear stories about a possible abduction or this or that, but it's right in our faces, and sometimes we don't see it or we don't recognize it, and you don't know who will prey on you. It could be someone we know, someone that we've seen around, someone that may seem nice but are not really nice. I just want to share a little bit of light on that. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and share.